In this video, we will go over practice problems on the hydrogen atom and the key topics you need to know. Be sure to try the problems on your own before watching the solutions. Let's get started. Here's question number 1. It reads, how much energy is released when an electron falls from the n equals 7 to the n equals 2 energy level in a hydrogen atom? What is the wavelength of the emitted light? And which hydrogen spectral series does this transition belong to? Take a minute to solve this problem and then come back and see the solution. Let's solve this hydrogen atom problem step by step. We are asked to find the energy released, the wavelength of the emitted light, and the hydrogen spectrum series when an electron drops from n equals 7 to n equals 2. First, we need to use the Rydberg's equation, which is delta E equals negative 2.178 times 10 to the negative 18 joules, multiplied by 1 over n final squared minus 1 over n initial squared. Now we need to plug in all the values into the equation. N final equals 2 and n initial equals 7. So we get delta E equals negative 2.178 times 10 to the negative 18 times 1 over 2 squared minus 1 over 7 squared. That becomes 1 over 4 minus 1 over 49. 1 over 4 is 0.25 and 1 over 49 is approximately 0.02041. Subtracting these values gives 0.25 minus 0.02041. That equals 0.22959. Now multiplying the two numbers, we get delta E equals negative 2.178 times 10 to the negative 18 times 0.22959. This gives delta E equals approximately negative 5 times 10 to the negative 19 joules. The negative sign tells us energy is being released, so the energy of the photon is 5 times 10 to the negative 19 joules. Next, we need to find the wavelength using the equation. Wavelength equals h times c divided by E. Remember the equation E is equal to h times c divided by wavelength that we listed under number 4 for the formulas for energy slide? This is the equation we get when we rearrange that equation. So we get the equation lambda is equal to h times c divided by E. When we plug in the constant, h equals 6.626 times 10 to the negative 34 joules times seconds, and c is equal to 3 times 10 to the 8 meters per second. So h times c is equal to 1.9878 times 10 to the negative 25 joules times meters. Now divide by the energy, we get wavelength equals 1.9878 times 10 to the negative 25 divided by 5 times 10 to the negative 19. This gives a wavelength of approximately 3.98 times 10 to the negative 7 meters, or 398 nanometers. Finally, because the electron falls to the n equals 2 energy level, this transition belongs to the Balmer series, which lies in the visible region of the electromagnetic spectrum. Let's move on to question number 2. Here's question number 2. It reads, how much energy is absorbed when an electron in a hydrogen atom moves from n equals 3 to n equals 5? What are the frequency and wavelength? Here's the solution to number 2. Let's walk through how to solve this problem step by step. We're looking at an electron in a hydrogen atom that moves from n equals 3 to n equals 5. Since the electron is moving to a higher energy level, this is absorption process, meaning energy is being absorbed. So we should expect a positive value for energy. First, we calculate the energy using the Rydberg's equation, which is E equals negative 2.178 times 10 to the minus 18 joules, multiplied by the quantity of 1 over n final squared minus 1 over n initial squared. Here, n final is 5 and n initial is 3. So we plug in the numbers. 1 over 5 squared is 1 over 25, and 1 over 3 squared is 1 over 9. That gives us E equals negative 2.178 times 10 to the minus 18 multiplied by 1 over 25 minus 1 over 9. 1 over 25 equals 0.04 and 1 over 9 equals 0.1111. When we calculate the difference, 0.04 and 0.1111, we get a negative value of negative 0.0711. The negative signs cancel, giving us a positive value for energy, which makes sense because energy is being absorbed. That gives us a final energy of about positive 1.55 times 10 to the minus 19 joules. Next, we find the wavelength using the equation lambda equals h times c divided by E. When we plug everything in and simplify, we get a wavelength of approximately 1.28 times 10 to minus 6 meters, which is about 1280 nanometers or 1280 nanometers, placing it in the infrared region. We know this is the infrared region because the wavelength is larger than the wavelength of red light, which is about 700 nanometers. Finally, we calculate the frequency. We can use the equation E equals h times nu. When we rearrange this equation, we get nu equals E divided by h. We plug in the energy and the Planck's constant. That gives us a frequency of approximately 2.34 times 10 to the 14 hertz. So to summarize, the electron absorbs energy, which leads to positive value for energy. The energy absorbed is about positive 1.55 times 10 to the minus 19 joules. The wavelength is about 1.28 times 10 to the minus 6 meters, or 1280 nanometers, and a frequency that's about 2.34 times 10 to the 14 hertz. Let's move on to question number 3. Here's question number 3. It says an electron in a hydrogen atom starts at n equals 1 and absorbs radiation with a frequency of 3.16 times 10 to the 15 hertz. To which energy level does this electron jump? Or what is the value of NF and final? Here's a solution to this problem. An electron in a hydrogen atom starts in the ground state at n equals 1, and it absorbs a radiation of light with a frequency of 3.16 times 10 to the power of 15 hertz. Our goal is to find a new energy level, also called N final. Here we are told that the electron absorbs a certain radiation frequency which has a corresponding energy, and since the electron absorbs the photon of energy, the unit of energy has to be positive. Let's go over the solution step by step. In the first step, we calculate the energy of the absorbed photon using the equation E equals h times nu, or frequency. We plug in Planck's constant, which is 6.626 times 10 to the minus 34 joules times seconds, and multiplying it by the frequency, 3.16 times 10 to the 15. This gives us an energy of approximately 2.09 times 10 to the minus 18 joules. Next, in the second step, we use the Rydberg's equation. So E equals negative 2.178 times 10 to minus 18 joules multiplied by the quantity 1 over n final 1 over n final squared minus 1 over n initial squared. We plug in our values and E becomes positive 2.09 times 10 to the minus 18. N initial is 1, so the equation becomes positive 2.09 times 10 to the minus 18 equals negative 2.178 times 10 to the minus 18 multiplied by the quantity 1 over n final squared minus 1. Now we divide both sides by negative 2.178 times 10 to the minus 18. This gives us negative 0.960 equals 1 over n final squared minus 1. In step number 3, we need to find the value of nf, n final. We do that by adding 1 to both sides. This gives 0.04 equals 1 over n final squared. Now we solve for nf by taking the reciprocal to get n final squared is equal to 1 divided by 0.04, which equals 25. Finally, we take the square root of both sides to get n final equals 5. So the electron absorbs that much energy or radiation to jump from n equals 1 up to n equals 5. Let's move on to question number 4. Question number 4 says which of the following electronic transitions in a hydrogen atom releases the greatest amount of energy? Answer choice A says n equals 5 to n equals 3. Answer choice B says n equals 9 to n equals 2. Answer choice C says n equals 15 to n equals 4. Answer choice D says n equals 3 to n equals 1. Which one do you think is the correct answer? Here's the solution to this problem. If you picked answer choice D, you are correct. Let's see why. The key idea to remember is this. The more energy an electron loses, the more energy gets released as light. Energy gaps between energy levels are not equal. The gaps between energy levels are much larger the closer the energy levels are to the nucleus, and they get smaller as you move further away. Remember the energy level diagram shown before? Here's the energy level diagram as shown on a previous slide. Now let's look at the answer choices. Answer choice A said a transition from n equals 5 to n equals 3. This is a small drop because of the gap between n equals 5 and n equals 3. Answer choice B says the transition from n equals 9 to n equals 2. This is a bigger drop, but still it's not the biggest. In choice C, the electron drops from n equals 15 to n equals 4. These higher levels are closer together, so the energy drop is smaller. Answer choice D, the transition from n equals 3 to n equals 1. This is the biggest drop toward the ground state. Because the energy gap between n equals 3 and n equals 1 is the largest among these options, this transition releases the greatest amount of energy. So the correct answer is D, n equals 3 to n equals 1. Remember, the largest energy release occurs when the electron drops from any higher energy level to a very low energy level like n equals 1. Let's move on to question number 5. Question number 5. It says an electron in a hydrogen atom releases a photon with a wavelength of 528 nanometers. To which hydrogen spectral series does this transition belong? Is it the Lyman series? Is it the Balmer series? The Paschen series? Or the Brackett series? Which one do you think? Here's a solution to this problem. If you picked answer choice B, you are correct. Let's figure out which hydrogen spectral series a photon of 528 nanometers belongs to. First, remember the different hydrogen series and their regions. Lyman series is in the ultraviolet, Balmer series is in the visible light range, the Paschen series is in the infrared, Bracket series is in the far infrared, but you are not expected to know the series for the MCAT. It was just created here as an answer choice to distract you. Remember to stick with what you know. Now, 528 nanometers is in the visible light range. But why? Because remember, we said red light has a wavelength of about 700 nanometers and violet light has a wavelength of about 400 nanometers. Here, 528 falls right in between 400 and 700 nanometers. This is the reason why it belongs to the visible light region of the spectrum. That means this transition is part of the Balmer series, the series responsible for all the colors of the visible light spectrum. So the correct answer is B, the Balmer series. For this question, there is no need to panic. You do not need to memorize all the specific wavelengths and the frequencies of the electromagnetic spectrum. Remember what we discussed in this lesson. You need to know the order of the electromagnetic spectrum, and you also need to know that the red light has a wavelength of about 700 nanometers, and violet light has a wavelength of about 400 nanometers. The only information you need to answer this question is that 528 nanometers falls between the wavelengths of red and violet light. So commit these two wavelengths to memory. You don't need to remember all the exact wavelength values. Just the two I pointed out in this lecture is enough. Let's move on to question number 6. Question number 6, it says, what is the correct order of increasing wavelength in the electromagnetic spectrum? The correct answer to this question is answer choice B. When organizing the electromagnetic spectrum by increasing wavelength, we move from the shortest wavelength to the longest. That order is gamma rays, X rays, ultraviolet, visible light, infrared, and then microwaves. A helpful way to remember this is that high energy waves have shorter wavelength while lower energy waves have longer wavelength. That's why gamma rays come first and microwaves come later. Finally, remember the order of the electromagnetic spectrum using the mnemonic that we previously presented in this lecture. It will help you answer some of the questions on the MCAT correctly. So the correct answer is B. Gamma rays, X rays, UV, visible, IR, and microwave. This brings our video to an end. Remember, the MCAT is a marathon, not a sprint. Every practice session helps to sharpen your skills and brings you one step closer to your target score. Thank you for watching, and best of luck on your MCAT journey.